I'm Frederick County Executive Jessica Fitzwater. One of my most important tasks is to prepare a balanced budget, one that delivers results, provides essential services, and keeps the core functions of government on track, and most importantly, reflects our community's priorities. As you know, I'm a proud product of Maryland's public schools, and I spent over 17 years as a music teacher at Oakdale Elementary. I believe education is the single best investment we can make as a community. I ran for office because educators should be at the table when government makes decisions that affect our students and our classrooms. Over the past 4 months, I held 2 public hearings and 5 town hall meetings where I listened to more than 100 of our neighbors share their concerns. Dozens more submitted online comments, hundreds sent emails, and thousands completed our online budget survey. Over and over, you told me that public education is your top priority too. So today, we are going to talk about the investments we're making in our students, educators, and school buildings. I'm proud to introduce a budget that puts our students first with record investments in public education. Frederick County government spends approximately half of our budget on public schools, and the total dollar amount has grown rapidly over the past 3 years. When I became county executive, Frederick County was spending around $390 million a year on public education. In this year's budget, we will invest over $508 million in our schools. This is a $118 million or 30% increase over 3 short years. It includes almost $26 million that Frederick County government pays directly for school nurses and health room technicians, physical and occupational therapists, school resource officers, and crossing guards, people whose work is essential to the health and safety of our children when they are at school. In a year when our budget is under remarkable pressure, we are also increasing our investment in school health and developmental therapists to respond to an increased caseload and provide state-mandated services. Using one-time funding, we are buying new classroom technology and investing an additional $1 million into the trust fund that protects the post-employment benefits of our retired educators. We are also significantly increasing our investment in school construction. Every child deserves a safe and modern learning environment, which is why I'm proposing an additional $175 million for school construction this year. This is an $80 million or 86% increase from last year. These funds will advance the pre-design work for the replacement Brunswick High School, accelerate the limited renovation projects at Twin Ridge and Hillcrest Elementary Schools, and ensure the replacement Middletown Elementary and Middle Schools stay on track to open in August of 2027. We're also tackling school overcrowding by funding 100% of the construction of elementary school number 41. We will build this school on an unprecedented 1-year schedule in time to open in August 2026 to relieve extreme overcrowding at Oakdale Elementary and surrounding schools. We are doing a lot for our schools. But here's the thing. As a former educator, a parent of FCPS students, and as an elected official who has heard your voices in our budget process, I know it's not enough. Let me be clear. I want to do more for our schools. But in the face of disruptive and damaging federal actions and state budget cuts, we have to be fiscally responsible and conservative in our approach. We cannot spend what we don't have, and we cannot make promises we may not be able to keep. As part of our ongoing transition to outcome-based budgeting, we went line by line through our budget and scrutinized every dollar. We identified millions of dollars of cuts to our base budget to realign our funding with your priorities. In light of this current uncertainty, we also challenged our divisions to scrutinize and prioritize their funding requests. Through this process, we reduced new budget requests by $10 million. And we are prepared for the likelihood that future federal and state actions will have a direct impact on our community, our economy, and our budget. What I'm about to say cannot be overstated. The intentional chaos we are experiencing at the federal level is not normal. In many cases, it's unconstitutional and it is not okay. Frederick County is home to more than 12,000 federal employees, which is more than 11% of our workforce. These are hardworking civil servants who dedicated their careers to serving others. When the federal government lays off workers, it is laying off our friends and neighbors. When it relocates agencies out of the DMV, it is moving jobs our community relies on. When a federal agency declares a facility is no longer a part of its core mission, as we have seen with the National Fire Academy in Emmitsburg, it's shuttering programs that support local jobs and businesses. If the federal government reduces its workforce by 25%, our unemployment rate will increase dramatically, which will put pressure on our social safety net and hurt our tax base. It seems that every day we are hit with new federal actions that affect our community. Late last month, we learned the U.S. Department of Education is canceling funds approved for and in many cases already spent by local school systems, which jeopardizes more than $400 million for Maryland schools. We also learned they are cutting funding for healthy school meal programs. This hurts the 1 out of every 3 Frederick County public school students who rely on free and reduced price meals. It also hurts Frederick County farmers who are no longer being paid to provide fresh food to our schools. And earlier this month, we learned about the administration's plans for tariffs. We do not yet understand the full impact of this action, but we expect it will raise prices on nearly everything we buy. This will hit consumers and small businesses hard and will increase costs to local government beyond what we have budgeted. Actions at the state level also impact our local budget. State policymakers confronted a multi-billion-dollar budget deficit in January, and they are bracing for more fallout from the federal government. The Governor and General Assembly are incredibly important partners for us. In this year's budget, they are providing millions of dollars for school construction and long-awaited safety upgrades to US 15. But in balancing their budget, they are shifting some costs to local governments. We are inheriting a bill for millions of dollars in state teacher pension obligations, which we'll have to pay each year. Protecting our retirees is a sacred trust, but the state's decision to shift their costs onto local governments means we have less resources available to put directly into our schools. We all agree that the pillars of the Blueprint for Maryland's Future are essential, and we all support expanding early childhood education, focusing on career and technical education, and providing wraparound services for vulnerable children. But we must recognize that the state is falling behind in funding the implementation of this plan. Today, I focused on half of our budget, public education, because I believe government should be responsive to you. And through our public engagement on the budget, you were clear that our schools are your top priority. But our budget does so much more. It provides public safety, sustainability programs, parks and recreation, senior services, affordable housing, comprehensive planning, public health, and more. And we will continue to talk about these incredibly important services in the coming days, so stay tuned. I believe we are each called to do the most we can where we are with what we have. And our FY26 budget does just that. In the most challenging fiscal environment in more than 2 decades, at a moment when our federal government is taking actions that undermine not only our local economy, but truly our democracy, we must remain steadfast in our commitment to public education, doing the absolute most we can under these circumstances. Thank you to everyone who participated in our budget process. I am so grateful for the opportunity to lead this amazing community, where we join forces every day to solve problems and make life better for the people of Frederick County. Together, we will continue to build a future where everyone can live, work, and thrive while enjoying a strong sense of place and belonging in this beautiful county we call home.